brought to you by Cubbage Electric Plumbing and Construction, Griffin Insurance, and Knox County Veteran Services. Now get ready for the show. The Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Live from the WMVO studios.
And a good evening to you here on WMVO. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. We're back. We took a couple of weeks off because of Christmas and New Year, the 16th and the 23rd, but we are back here tonight, and we are featuring, first off, Mount Vernon Nazarene University College men's basketball, and then the Fredericktown Freddies. We're going to be talking with them for the first time here tonight, so we're excited about this, and once again, we thank Griffin Insurance, our title sponsor. Also, Durko's Pizza and Subs, Knox Community Hospital, Cubbage Electric Plumbing and Construction, Knox County Veteran Services. Jared Rone is with us. We thank him for joining us here. And if you're seeing on the video, Kyler's right there beside him, and we appreciate joining us. I'm glad you brought him, too, because we had a lot of pizza out there. He got some pizza. He got some good amount of pizza there, so we love it. Appreciate you guys coming in.
Absolutely.
Mount Vernon Nazarene University. You know, it's funny. I was sitting today, and unfortunately, just because of the weather and things like that, Centerberg was not able to join us, and Paul texted me about something else, and I said, "Can you get the Naz to come over here?
Yeah.
We can talk and have some fun." Appreciate Jared joining us here on the program. 11th year with Mount Vernon Nazarene University. I always like to tell people, see, I would have been 22 years old when you started. Now I got gray hair. So you've been doing this for quite some time. Give us a little background here. We were kind of talking off the air, the fact that you're a guy from Urbana and but made your way here. What made you want to come over to this job here at the Mount Vernon Nazarene University and stick around for 11 years?
Yeah, so, I grew up in the gym. My dad was a college basketball coach, went on to play college basketball as well, and I knew I always wanted to be a coach. I started off as a GA at the University of Dayton, then was an assistant at Ashland University. That's where I met my wife. Then we moved to North Carolina. I was an assistant at UNC Asheville.
Okay.
My wife's family is from Coshocton, Ohio, and we were working a summer shootout, and I got a text from my mother-in-law that the MVNU job was open, and we knew. MVNU was kind of one of those places that if that job would ever to open up, that my wife and I, we would be, highly interested just because of the values of the university, the high level of play of the Crossroads League. And we've been now here for 11 years. Kyler, my oldest son, who's sitting next to me, he was in his mother's belly when we got here. And we really enjoy Mount Vernon. We really enjoy MVNU. It's a really, really special place.
No, was Sean Miller there at Dayton when you were there? Was that you?
No, Brian Gregory.
Okay, Brian Gregory was there. All right. Changes around a little bit and everything.
Absolutely.
Of course, you think about a program in Ashland, and I know the women's program has gone leaps and bounds and everything, but the men's program is really solid up there as well. And so to get into that experience, what was maybe some of the things that stood out to that experience before you got the head coaching job?
Yeah, I worked for some great people. John Ellenwood, who's the head coach there now. I was there with him his first 4 years, and I worked for Nick McDevitt at UNC Asheville. And funny story, the head women's coach there now is actually my sister-in-law.
Okay.
Carrie Pickens.
Oh, wow.
Robin Freilich, who is the head coach at Michigan State, was the assistant there when I was the assistant. We're very good friends, and she introduced me to my wife.
Okay,
my
way
wife,
to go, Robin.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. My wife was a great player. She won two state championships at Riverview High School. She was Miss Basketball in the state of Ohio twice.
Awesome.
And she's a Hall of Famer at the University of Dayton.
That's pretty awesome. Who wins one-on-one?
They're close. They're highly competitive games.
Kyler, you want to answer that? So you look at those experiences, everything. But when was that tall Kenny guy there at UNC Asheville when you were there?
No, he was there before I was there.
Okay.
Yeah. Kenny George.
George, that's what it was.
Kenny George.
I remember his name. He's like 7'9".
Yeah, really big guy.
Yeah. So you come over to the Mount Vernon Nazarene University, and when you first got there, what was kind of the goal for you? We talk about the values of Mount Vernon Nazarene Universities, and you still want to win basketball games. So what was kind of the goal for you when you came to the Naz?
We really wanted to create a unique basketball culture.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we're in an intentionally Christian university, an intentionally Christian program, and we wanted to create a really, really unique basketball culture, and that's something that we've done over the last 11 years. Our culture, we call it Rule Cougar culture. It's based on 4 core values of relentless effort, unbreakable spirit, servant leadership, and competitive excellence. And the why of our program is to pursue Christ while in the pursuit of championships. We've got outstanding young men that work extremely hard. We play a really, really fun style of play, and we really, really are intentional about the environment that we try to build within our locker room, within our huddle. And it's obviously I'm biased, but it's a great place and a really, really unique culture.
So a Jared Ronay team, you want to get up and down the floor? You want to play in the half court? What do you like to do?
We've adjusted throughout the years. We've had multiple national tournament teams in my times here. The first couple of years, we were a full court pressing team. We became more of a half court team over a 6 to 8 year period. The last few years, we've become more of a full court pressing team as well. But one staple that's always been there is the way we play offense. We're a team. We're a motion-based team that we really want to play fast in transition, but we really want to share the ball. We do a lot of off-ball screening, off-ball cutting, where the ball is changing sides of the floor. It's a fun brand of basketball. Our league is really unique. You got to score at a really, really high level.
You do. Yeah.
Last week, I checked. We were the 20th most efficient offense in the country last week, but we were the 6th most efficient offense in our conference. Our conference is just it's a really special conference. There's eight teams from Indiana, 1 team from Michigan. We're the only team from Ohio. All faith-based institutions, and it's just really one thing that makes it unique in the state of Indiana. There's only 2 NCAA Division II institutions in the University of Indianapolis and Purdue Northwest.
Yeah,
there's a lot of NAIA schools, and the Crossroads League is the main NAIA conference in Indiana. And obviously, people that know basketball is very important to the state of Indiana.
It's a little bit, yeah.
So if a kid doesn't go to IPFW Indiana State, he's normally ending up in our league, where with us, we're a little unique, where we're kind of surrounded by Division IIs and Division IIIs. We're kind of on an island by ourselves as an NAIA program. But the Crossroads League, if people out there listening have not been over to Ariel Arena, I highly recommend it. It's high-level basketball. It's really fun basketball.
When I look at it, and I kind of look at different box scores, I get every release when you guys play and stuff like that, and I kind of look through and things, and you're right. There's a lot. It's very high scoring, and there's just good basketball players. And I know we're going to talk about recruiting after the break and things, but when you look at some of those players that play in that league, these guys are the real deal. And you talk about Indiana and stuff like that. Now, you guys are a university in which you're able to travel and go to different places and stuff like that. So how does it work in terms of your travel? Like, I know Wednesday you're going to be heading to Indiana.
Right.
But how does that work? You guys leave the morning of? You stay over there? How does that work?
If it's a weekday game, we normally travel day of. So if we're playing Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, we'll travel day of. We'll leave anywhere from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, depending on how far the trip is. We'll stop at some point, have a pregame meal, kind of relax a little bit, and then get there. For travel day of, we like to get to the game 2 hours before, just so we can kind of settle in a little bit. On the weekends, we normally go the night before and stay in a hotel with a 3 p.m. tip the next day.
All right, that's pretty cool to get to travel with your team and get to do those things. Now, with the Mount Vernon Nazarene University, what's your record right now? How you guys faring this season?
We're 9-6 so far.
All right, like it.
We got a really, really young group. Out of our 13, 12 healthy players right now, 6 of them are either a redshirt freshman or a freshman.
Oh, wow.
Really, really young group, vibrant group. They play really, really hard. They're learning. They're learning a lot of valuable lessons right now, and And I'm really, really excited for him. And we also have some great veteran leadership. A local guy like Carter Jones
from
Centerburg High School.
Go Trojans.
So we've got some veteran leadership that does an outstanding job. But we're really a young group. We're probably one of the youngest teams in the country.
Is that kind of an opportunity, though, for you? I mean, there's expectation. You want to win, but also the development aspect of it in the hopes that, hey, this development will lead to victories in the coming years as they age.
Yeah, we're a process-driven group. We tell that we tell that to people all the time, recruits, our players. We're trying to get just a little bit better every single day. We'll let outcomes be outcomes; those will come as we go. But we're about development, not only on the floor, but most importantly off the floor. We're about developing men, that process. We believe if really hone in on that, we focus on that. Then that'll help us become the best that we're capable of becoming.
Jared Ronay, we thank him for joining us, head men's basketball coach. I used to say boys basketball coach in high school. Men's basketball coach from Nazarene University. Going to talk about the season up to this point. Obviously, mentioned that at St. Francis, Indiana on Wednesday. Then you return home, face Indiana Wesleyan at Ariel Arena on Saturday. So we look forward to that. We're going to be talking about that and, of course, talking about recruiting as well here on the program. Do want to thank Griffin, our insurance, our title sponsor, as well as Knox Community Hospital just down the road from us here. Durko's Pizza and Subs, Covage Electric, Plumbing and Construction, and Knox County Veteran Services. So let's take this break. We'll come back, and more of the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show coming up.
Good afternoon. I'm Tim Hall with your ONN Sports. Let's start in pro football. We got a lot to dive into today on the first day of the offseason for many NFL teams, including both in Ohio, which is majorly disappointing. The Bengals have already fired defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. The unit played better down the stretch, but finished 25th in total defense and scoring defense. Also gone are linebackers coach James Betcher, D-line coach Marion Hobby, and offensive line coach Frank Pollock. After their win over Pittsburgh, Joe Burrow sounded pleased how everyone responded to finish the season 9-8 with 5 straight wins.
I think we have had, our great players playing great. For the most part, they have all year. But we've had some young guys step up in spots, and that's been, they've been showing a lot of promise. And so that's exciting to have some of those guys step up like that, and guys that we're going to be counting on.
Just wasn't enough, though. Up in Cleveland, big news about quarterback Deshaun Watson. GM Andrew Berry says Watson had a setback in his Achilles rehab. It could jeopardize next season for him. They did have $44 million of his 2025 salary insured for injury, so there could be more cap relief on the way. Also gone, the Jags fired Doug Peterson. Patriots already said goodbye to Gerard Mayo. NHL, the Blue Jackets are off tonight after the win over the Blues this weekend. They are in Pittsburgh tomorrow night. NBA action, the 31-4 Cavs, a 10-game win streak. They have a couple nights. They'll play the Thunder on Wednesday. I'm Tim Hall on the Ohio News Network.
Hi, I'm Dean.
And I'm Don.
We are Durko's Pizza, home of the famous Stromboli, specialty pizzas, 16 different subs. We have homemade dinners, salads made fresh,
Lunch specials, daily specials, and of course, the Munchie Menu. Chicken wings, cheese breadsticks, mac and cheese wedges. Call 740-392-5678.
Delivery or pickup. Durko's Pizza.
You never thought your child would get their own home, but it needs new wiring pulled and the kitchen could use a makeover. It's time to get in touch with Covage Electric and Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004.
Covage Electric and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Covage Electric and Construction, 740-627-8004.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Looking for a new pharmacy? The Knox Community Hospital Outpatient Pharmacy makes it easy to transfer prescriptions. Our friendly community pharmacy is open to the public, and most prescriptions are ready within 24 hours. Accepting most insurances, KCH Outpatient Pharmacy is the only accredited specialty pharmacy in Knox County. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. Call 740-326-3485 or go to kch.org.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Welcome back. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, live from the WMVO studios on the WMVO Facebook page, live streaming, and on the radio WMVO. Don't forget, we've got high school hoops tomorrow night, as we've got Fredericktown and Northmore in boys high school basketball from Fredericktown. Curtis and Jared Stein will be on the show tomorrow. Not Jared Rone. He will be preparing for Wednesday's game, but Jared Stein will be on. Then I'll be back on Wednesday night flying solo as Centerburg girls take on Northmore, coming off their first loss of the season. And then Friday night we got Centerburg and Fredericktown once again, and we're going to do that before the bowl game, so we'll be there for that. I'll be on the call on that one. But we're talking some MVNU hoops right now as the MVNU Cougars, they get ready to face off at St. Francis, Indiana Wednesday, host Indiana Wesleyan coming up, Ariel Arena. But I want to ask you a little bit about recruiting and how this kind of works, because this is a very unique situation. You know, if you're at the Division I level and you're, let's say, Jake Diebler at Ohio State, well, you can go and look for the highest, recruited per, you got these 5-star guys out there. You got people rating them throughout the whole country, and it makes it a little easier. Right. For you guys, you want competitive guys that are high level, as you mentioned, high level character and good athletes too. Yep. But you also you're fighting for those guys that can go Division I too. So how does the recruiting aspect go for you? Are you looking locally first? How does it work at MVNU?
Yeah, we call it inside out recruiting. We want to recruit Central Ohio as much as we can first, and then obviously kind of expand from there. The majority of our team is from Ohio. We have a few kids from the state of Indiana as well. We've had a kid from Michigan. We've had a couple international kids before. But we really want to hone in on the state of Ohio. One thing that's unique about us, obviously we're NAI. We can give athletic scholarships. And we're kind of one of the only NAI schools in the state of Ohio, but we have really good Division III conferences surrounding us, but also a good Division II conference as well. So for us, it's really selling our brand of MVNU basketball, Rural Cougar culture, the Crossroads League, because a lot of people in the state of Ohio don't really have an understanding of what NAIA basketball is sometimes, because they're more familiar with NCAA Division II schools, Division III schools. So we're out and about on the recruiting trail. In the spring and summer, obviously during the winter, I'll be at a game on Tuesday and Friday night this week. My assistant will as well. So, we've signed one kid so far in this particular 2025 class. We'll sign 3 more to finish out the class. And so that's kind of our approach to recruiting.
Now, so tomorrow you're going out to a high school, and it's a busy time for you. So, I mean, you have any days off at this time of the year, or is it kind of like, you're just all over the place?
Yeah, it can be. Not really. not really. Yeah. I'm incredibly blessed with a wonderful family and a supportive wife that they'll go out recruiting with me all the time. Oh, cool. So we'll recruit as a family. Awesome. Kyler right here is one of the toughest evaluators out there. I like it. So you really got to prove to him that you can play. But we try to do everything we can as a family. Sure. During the recruiting process, I tell people all the time that my dad was a college coach, and his players, they were like NBA players to me. Yeah. They were like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. Yeah. And I know my kids look up to my players like they're Steph Curry, LeBron, KD, all those guys. I mean, Kyler's with them all the time, and even my daughter who's 7, I have another son who's 4. I know they're going to be the same way. So we got to do a really good job of evaluating character, the type of person that we're bringing in, because we really want to bring in, obviously, good basketball players, but really, really good people into our environment.
So how early are you recruiting these kids? Are they freshmen? Are they seniors? Are they juniors? I mean, I know junior year's a lot when you want them to have already signed.
We normally start the process in the junior year.
Okay.
So, I think a lot of the earlier you get, that's probably the higher levels. The Ohio States, the Daytons, they're kind of starting that process their freshman or sophomore year. For us, there's kind of a trickle-down effect, because the kids that we would start recruiting as a sophomore, well, they think they're going to Dayton, or they think they're going to Ohio State, where that process has to kind of mature for them. So we try to start kind of towards the end of their junior year, going into their senior year.
So you look at this year's team, and you mentioned this group's pretty young and everything. So you go into this year, what were your expectations? I mean, is it, hey, let's get better, let's get some experience under our belt? What were some of the goals for this year?
Funny to say, we don't talk about expectations. We don't talk about our expectations are within our process. Our expectation is how we show up to work every day, how we show up to practice, how we show up to the classroom. That's where the expectations come. We don't put expectations on results at all. Our expectation is on the process that we're trying to approach every single day. And like we tell every single team, whether it's a team that we've been to the Sweet 16 before and been to multiple national tournaments, every single year, or if we have a really young team like this one, we want to become the best that we're capable of becoming, and that's the main goal of every group.
What are some of the things right now that you like about this group? Well, you're 15 games in, right? 9-6. So some of the things you like about the group, some of the things you say, hey, look, we've got a couple of games this week we need to improve upon here as we're into 2025.
Yeah, for one, we've taken huge strides on the offensive end over the last couple of weeks. The way we play, we have to create a ton of synergy and a ton of connectivity out there on the offensive end, and our guys have taken a lot of strides in what we're doing. Defensively, we've gotten better in different areas, but like I said, in our league, we're playing against some of the best offenses in the country, and there's a lot of different challenges that present themselves day in and day out. And we've got new challenges this week, against St. Francis. Over the weekend, we got beat by the number 10 ranked team in the country in Bethel, and they're big at every position. They basically play four forwards out there.
Oh, wow.
They're big, they're physical. But now against St. Francis, we're going to play, probably against the most talented guard in the conference. So it presents new challenges, every week. Our guys continue to, attack those challenges, and we're looking forward to seeing them grow.
You look at that Bethel game, 81-69. Bailey Conrad had 23 points in the ball game, but what stood out to you in that ball game? You lose by 12. Was that at home, or is that on the road?
That was a home game.
Home game for you. So what stood out to you in that ball game?
Well, our guys fought hard to get themselves back into it. We dug ourselves a hole on the glass. We really had a hard time rebounding on the backside. Areas that we really, really got to improve upon. But, we had a great day of prep today for Wednesday, and a great film session of learning and growing on where we need to grow from Saturday.
So when you do that, so you do that, and then tomorrow you're going to be out recruiting, and then Wednesday you head on the road there at St. Francis, Indiana, and then Thursday you get right to prepping for Saturday's game. Is that kind of how this process all works?
Yeah, that's kind of the routine. January, February in college basketball, doesn't matter what level, Division III, NAIA, D2, all the way up to Ohio State Division I. There becomes kind of this conference routine, whether it's certain days of the week, but this is January, February is it can be a grind in college basketball, but it's fun. It's a challenge, and we're looking forward to it.
So you're into 2025, and I always like to find out about how this works with the tournament. So not everybody makes the NAIA tournament, right? Or Crossroads League tournament, right? It's just the top 8 or something like that. And then you try to, you get an automatic bid if you win the conference tournament. Tell us kind of how that works here.
Yeah, so 8 teams, 8 out of 10 teams will make the conference tournament, and then our league is unique. Our league is basically considered the best men's basketball league in the country, and our league will get anywhere from 4. We had 6 teams in the national tournament a couple years ago. So there's multiple teams that'll be in the top 25, but I would anticipate probably 4 teams in our league making the national tournament this year.
Yeah, you get into that. Where are you guys at in the standings right now in terms of it being 9 and 6?
We're at 8 right now.
Okay,
we're
so
8 right now, so we're right in the beginning of the league. We've you want to say dug ourselves a hole, but we've played. Majority of our games have been on the road so far, and we got some home games coming up. And,
that'll help.
So hopefully we can just continue to get better. Again, with such a young group, you have to be process driven, you have to be process focused, so they can really kind of maximize who they become.
So both of these games are conference games this week.
Yeah, we have nothing but conference games the rest of the way.
That's all it is. How does a non-conference work? You guys I know you played Kenya. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, so we have 10 non-conference games every year.
Okay.
We play a variety of different teams every year. This year, we always go on a Christmas trip.
Okay.
So this year we went to the state of California and played 3 games out there. Last year we went on kind of a barnstorming tour. We played Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa in a 6-day span. We've been to Texas, we've been to Phoenix, we've been to a lot of different places.
Yeah. Now that Kenyan game, was that just an exhibition? Did that count on the record? Or?
So it was an exhibition for them. It was a regular season game for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one of the tough things for us, it's really difficult to get non-conference home games.
Okay.
Really, really difficult. So one thing that we do. We'll play a Division III every year, and it'll be an exhibition game for them and a regular season game for us.
All right, excellent. Now, you look at, you mentioned kind of the rest of the year in these games going forward and what you want to see from what do you want to see from this group as you're sitting right there on the fringe of making the conference tournament. You got, as you mentioned, a lot of opportunity in front of you now at this point if they're all conference games. So what do you want to see from this group?
Yeah, I just want to see growth, everyday growth. I want to see a team that really commits themselves to a process of getting better and really understands how to approach kind of their day-to-day process. And I always say, like, I sound like a repeating record sometimes when it comes to that, but that's what it's all about for us. We want to be a group that's committed to becoming the best that we're capable of becoming, and really honing in to growth every day.
And as you mentioned, you got great facilities there at Nazarene University, and I know they're going to be doing a cool on-deck program for the baseball thing. So you got a lot of support there at the Nazarene University from the athletics department, and the facilities are great for you. So it's a nice place to be at, isn't it?
It's a great place. Yeah. And again, I know that there's probably some listeners out there that have never been to MVNU or never been to our campus or a game. Man, I highly recommend. Come on over to a game. Come on over, see Ariel Arena. It's beautiful. It's great basketball. It's a great campus. It's a really special place.
What time do you play on Saturday?
3 p.m.
3 p.m. I think you mentioned that at the beginning, but I forgot. So.
That's okay.
Kyler, do you want to say anything before we go here? Yeah, you want to say hey? You want to say hey to anybody?
Hi, Mom.
Ah, there it is. We got him. Now he's going to go back out there and eat some more Durkos. We love it. Hey, appreciate it, guys. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. Nazarene University. Also want to shout out to Paul McNeil.
Yeah, absolutely.
That got this all hooked up and got Jared in here, got Kyler in here, and we appreciate you guys coming out, and we'll be in touch. Maybe we'll get you back in here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Talk
really
about you guys winning some more basketball games.
That's right.
Sound good?
That's right.
Appreciate Jared Roney being with us here on the program tonight. Do want to thank Griffin Insurance, our title sponsor, and also Durko's Pizza and Subs. They've been eating that out there in the bullpen, as well as Knox Community Hospital, Coverage Electric, Plumbing and Construction, and Knox County Veteran Services. Take this break. We'll come back and more of the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show coming up.
Is brought to you by
Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
It's 7:31 and 23 degrees.
We do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Shank.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
Filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
You never thought your child would get their own home, but it needs new wiring pulled and the kitchen could use a makeover. It's time to get in touch with Cubbage Electric and Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004.
Cubbage Electric and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Cubbage Electric and Construction, 740-627-8004.
Here's your forecast on 100.9 FM and 93.7 HD2.
Should be free of precipitation today for your Tuesday. We'll have a high of 24 with mostly cloudy skies. Low around 19 tonight with cloud cover. Mostly cloudy skies also for Wednesday with a high in the mid-20s, maybe in the low 20s even at that. Low around 12 Wednesday night. Snow showers early, breaks in the overcast later. Snow accumulations less than 1 inch. That's your forecast, WMVO. All right, welcome back. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Thanks for joining us here on the program, and we appreciate the Fredericktown Freddies. This is the first time I've seen any of these guys this year. Curtis has been out at the Fredericktown games, and we appreciate Derek joining. Now, I think last year we were trying to have you come in here right after the new year, and you had something going on, so you weren't able to come in. But this time it worked out for you. Appreciate Derek Dibling joining us here. Karsten Reinhardt and Zane Luckmeyer, we thank them for joining us here on the program. The Fredericktown Freddies come in at 5-0 in the KMAC, 7-2 overall. They're number one in the Knoxmore Athletic Conference. Technically, I guess a half game ahead of Centerburg because Centerburg's 4-0, but certainly this is a fun time. I mean, obviously being at 5-0 in the KMAC. And Derek, I always ask about expectations, and at this point, you're already halfway through the season almost. I mean, you already played 9 games and things, but do you feel like this is where you could be right here at this point of the year? And you know, it seems like we say this with Fredericktown every single year is that hey, the expectations are pretty high. You've got talent there at Fredericktown, and you guys usually live right up to it too. But what were some of the things that you looked at for this group? Was it a hope that you could win the Knoxmore Athletic Conference, win a district title? I know it's a little bit different how everything's works in tournament play this year.
Yeah, I think we always kind of hold these guys to a high expectation. You know, we set lofty goals at the start of the season, and I think our goal has always been to try to get better every day. I think we really kind of focus on, what can we get better at today, and really believe that if we do that, the rest kind of takes care of itself. But yeah, obviously, like we always shoot for, to try to win league championships. But again, it starts with what we do every day, first and foremost.
And I know for you guys, obviously the talent that's back here, Carson and Zane's the first time I've seen a whole lot of Zane this year and things. And Carson was a young guy last year running the point, and then you've still got Gavin Toombs and Sipes and Brody Davis. So there's a lot of pieces here. When you have that kind of continuity to an extent, right, Derek, where these guys have played together for quite a bit, does that heighten the expectations to an extent? I mean, or is it saying, hey, we know that you guys know what you need to do. You know where you need to be. It's not like, hey, we're going to have to sit here and teach you this is where you need to be in this situation. For the most part, you know where you got to go, and so that kind of heightens the expectations for this group.
Yeah, I think like when it comes to like the preseason, it was a luxury having a lot of these guys back because again, there wasn't as much teaching as much as there was, I think, just competition. Yeah. Trying to get these guys ready, whether it be in the weight room, on the floor, working on that chemistry piece a little bit. But it was, taking a lot of what we did last year, just cranking it up a notch per se. So,
Carson, what year are you in school?
Sophomore.
I thought you were a sophomore. I wasn't sure if it was sophomore or junior. Because we were pretty impressed last year. I know Carson was on our second team, all Super Q team, and as a freshman, that's pretty impressive. To have that. But it seemed like honestly, when we watched you last year, as a freshman, the game didn't speed up on you. It was just like you took it in stride, and now here you are sitting averaging almost 17 points per game. What were some of the things you wanted to work on the offseason now that we're 9 games into this year, you feel like the game is still slowing down for you, and some of the things that you wanted to accomplish, you're kind of accomplishing right now?
Yeah, I really wanted to become more of like an all-around player, so I improved my ball handling all summer because I knew I was going to be running the point this year. And I really worked on my jump shot, trying to be more consistent with that.
Yeah, and when you get into the offseason, you're obviously a busy, you do a lot of stuff, and you're in high school, you want to enjoy your summer and things like that, but that's where you get better, right? I mean,
Yes,
in the offseason when nobody's watching and you're shooting in the backyard and things like that, and is that something where you really maybe gained some confidence during the summer where you had worked on that, and here now you've really upped your game to, like, say, averaging almost 17 points a game?
Yeah, it's really just been a journey this summer. I really put in the work, and I guess it's showing.
Are you a one sport guy? You play a bunch of sports?
I play baseball as well.
All right, you're baseball. You play for Ryan Hathaway and that
Yes, sir.
group over there. All right, they're pretty darn good too. They've gone to. I think there was a time where I said death taxes and Fredericktown baseball winning a district title. So it's kind of a cool thing. Zane, what year are you in school? Can you just swing that mic over there? You guys just swing it back and forth there. Zane, what year are you?
Sophomore.
All right, so you're a young guy. You got some young guys here.
Yep, young guys.
All right, so for you, Zane, going into this year, what were some of the things that you wanted to accomplish? Some of the things maybe you wanted to add to this group?
I wanted to give them, rebounding, some scoring, just all around, player that could come off the bench and still, do just as good as the rest of them.
Now, for you, as you feel like the varsity level has sped up for you and getting the minutes this year, and are you feeling like, hey, with these other guys around you, maybe you don't have to be the guy, but you're able to kind of fit in as a role player, and it maybe slows the game down for you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, feels about the same as last year. I mean, it's pretty slow for me still.
Yeah. Well, you look at this group here, Derek, and you think about where you're at right now, and Gavin Toombs and Carson and Zane. I mean, that right there is 40 points per game for you, just those guys. And then you got Brody and you got Blake. I mean, you've got a lot of pieces here as well, but that depth aspect of it is always important, isn't it, to have those guys that can come off the bench when you need them and give you some good minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge benefit to us.
Yeah.
I think, we feel real comfortable going 8 deep.
Yeah.
Most of which are sophomores and juniors. But I think we've had 4, maybe 5 different guys this year lead us in scoring. Mm-hmm. Through the first 7 games, our leading rebounder came off the bench.
Yeah.
And I think it just speaks volumes to all the different pieces that these guys bring to the table. They play complementary basketball.
Yeah.
We talk about all the time, the only stat that matters is the W at the end. And when they're playing, selfless basketball, they're a really fun group to watch.
As you've almost run through, you still got a couple of games left before you run through the KMAC the first time. But you played 5 games in the KMAC, and you've won all 5 of them. What have you seen with the conference? Obviously, still got Northmore, who everybody kind of expected to be there. You guys were kind of right there, number 1 probably, to be honest with you. And then, Centerburg, I don't know if that was maybe a surprise, but they always seem to be there and things like that. But what's kind of been your overall idea of the KMAC? You played 5 games now, and you got these big ones coming up this week.
It's been pretty competitive every night for us. I think the unique thing about a lot of teams pose, I think, different kinds of threats based on matchups. Like, for example, Mount Gilead tonight, they're a big squad. They've got a big front line, some big, strong dudes. And so, they present a unique challenge. We've seen more zone this year than I've ever seen. You're seeing a lot of just different defenses, some 2-1-2s and some 1-3-1s and some 1-2-2s. So it's been a lot of just different defenses, I think, that have been thrown our way. And the league is it's unique in that way. A lot of teams kind of have their own thing that they try to do.
And it's almost like when I've looked at it, I know when I was in school, you have a couple of teams where it'd be kind of like, all right, you can kind of have an off night and you'd still be okay. But in the KMAC right now, even Mount Gilead has really gotten better throughout the years. I mean, you think about you guys have pretty much always been consistently good. I mean, all the years that I've covered, which has been probably 15 years, always there and things. But the improvements of teams like Mount Gilead and these different groups, it makes it for a better conference and really can prepare you guys as you go throughout the season, can it?
Oh, absolutely. I think you want to feel prepared going into what we all know is a really tough Central District.
Yeah.
you don't learn any favors by having cupcakes to play during the season. Like you want to be challenged every night, and up to this point, like the league is the kind of answered the bell in that way. Like we've been challenged every night, different ways, and I think that you want to be challenged different ways because it's just one more way, that allows you to kind of see what you have and see what you're made of.
Yeah. I want to ask you, because you talked about the non-conference there again. Derek Dibling with us. We thank you for joining us. Carson Reinhardt, Zane Luckmeyer, we thank you for joining us here. You start the year with 2 losses overall, but you lose to a North Union team. Again, they're there every year. They're really good. And Ashland Crestview, I don't know a whole lot about them, but pretty high-scoring game, 76-60. So you lose those first 2 games. They're non-conference games, so it's not the end of the world and things. But what did you maybe learn from those games that you take into now? You got a 7-game win streak heading into tomorrow night.
Again, I think just every game is an opportunity to kind of see what you're made of and who you are. And, yes, we had a lot of pieces coming back, but we still had some things to work out as far as chemistry and, getting guys in the right spot. And, the one thing about season, it's just a journey. Like you figure a little more about your crew each and every game. It was a tough 2-game stretch to start the season. North Union had a kid that had just an unbelievable night.
Yeah, he had like 37 or something.
Yeah, and then Crestview, they're still undefeated. They're just a really good team.
Yeah.
But again, it kind of showed us where we're at and gave us a good measuring stick. And in some ways, it kind of pointed out some of our deficiencies, which then allows us to go back to practice and work on some of those things. So. Sure. It's a journey.
Zane, you think about those 2 games and now kind of the run you guys are on. What have you seen from your team? Is it just kind of figuring out roles for different people and kind of and putting it all together? Obviously, again, you lose 2 non-conference games. It's not the end of the world, but you're able to get something going, and now you've won 7 straight games.
Yeah, I think those two losses really helped us, come together as a team, have some good chemistry, learning what we didn't do well and fixing it coming into those league games, which really helped us a lot.
You think about it, Carson, what stood out in those games against North Union, against Ashland Crestview, and now that you've been able to kind of roll over and win 7 in a row?
We honestly just weren't being a team. We were trying to play hero ball, I think, and we just weren't meshing well. It was our first 2 games of the year, and we just struggled a little bit.
Yeah, well, you guys got it going. You've won 7 in a row. We're going to talk about the games here coming up. Also, talk about that Mount Gilead game from Saturday, and then of course 2 big ones this week. Got some biggies. Got one at home tomorrow night, which we will have on our WMVO Facebook page and on the radio on WMVO, and then also we'll be live streaming Friday's game as well, which starts a little bit earlier because we want to get you guys home to watch the Buckeyes as well. So we'll take this break, we'll come back, and more of the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show coming up.
Is brought to you by
Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
It's 7:47 and 23 degrees.
Hi, I'm Dean.
And I'm Don.
We are Durka's Pizza, home of the famous Stromboli. Specialty pizzas, 16 different subs. We have homemade dinners, salads made fresh,
Lunch specials, daily specials, and of course, the Munchie Menu. Chicken wings, cheese breadsticks, mac and cheese wedges. Call 740-392-5678.
Delivery or pickup. Durka's Pizza.
Looking for a new pharmacy? The Knox Community Hospital Outpatient Pharmacy makes it easy to transfer prescriptions. Our friendly community pharmacy is open to the public, and most prescriptions are ready within 24 hours. Accepting most insurances, KCH Outpatient Pharmacy is the only accredited specialty pharmacy in Knox County. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. Call 740-326-3485 or go to kch.org.
You never thought your child would get their own home, but it needs new wiring pulled and the kitchen could use a makeover. It's time to get in touch with Cubbage Electric and Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004.
Cubbage Electric and Construction is a proud sponsor for all the local high school teams.
Cubbage Electric and Construction, 740-627-8004.
Griffin Insurance, taking care of your family since 1972. In today's day and age, it's very uncommon to get a real person when you call. Not at Griffin Insurance. We represent multiple carriers to find the best rate for you and your family. Whether it's auto, residential, commercial, or farm, we're here to help. Call Griffin Insurance at 740-397-7488. Griffin Insurance, finding you the best rate.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Here's your forecast on 100.9 FM and 93.7 HD2.
Should be free of precipitation today for your Tuesday. We'll have a high of 24 with mostly cloudy skies. Low around 19 tonight with cloud cover. Mostly cloudy skies also for Wednesday with a high in the mid-20s, maybe in the low 20s even at that. Low around 12 Wednesday night. Snow showers early, breaks in the overcast later. Snow accumulations less than 1 inch. That's your forecast, WMVO. All right, we're back here on the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. We get to talking hoops, and, then we're back on the program. All right, appreciate you guys joining us. Fredericktown Freddies right now leading the Knoxmore Athletic Conference. Got a couple of tough games, though, this week with Northmore tomorrow night and Centerburg coming up as well. But you took on Mount Gilead over the weekend, Coach, and when you look at that ball game, you win in overtime at home, 65-60 against Mount Gilead. What stood out in that ball game? And when you have a veteran group like you do, or you have guys that have been there, done that, you have some young guys there as well on the team. But 65-60, get it taken care of there in overtime. What stood out to you?
I think just our composure down the stretch. We obviously didn't get off to a great start. And in fact, really our only lead was at the end in overtime. We played from behind the whole game. So, my big takeaway is we hadn't been in a game like that. And I think for us to, maintain composure, be disciplined, and execute really when it mattered the most was probably the biggest takeaway. I think it's a step in the right direction for this group. I think the leadership kind of shone through in their ability to get together, especially late in the game, and move on to the next play.
Yeah. 65-60, it's a fairly high-scoring ball game for you guys. And you had a number of high-scoring ball games there, but is that what you want? You want to get up in the 60s and score the basketball? I mean, you guys got the guys to do it. I mean, like I said, between Carson, Gavin, and Zane, that's 40 points a game right there just between those three. So is that a try to get out? They're going to score if you get out in transition, but is it to try to get up in those 60 range and then try to hope your defense holds?
Yeah, I mean that's a big part of it. But a lot of it's just we want our guys to play fast.
Yeah.
Play advantage basketball. We really feel like in transition, a lot of times defenses are they're not organized, and so from our standpoint, it's a lot easier to beat an unorganized defense than it is to sit in the half court and execute when the defense is prepared and ready. And we got guys that like to run and. I don't know. As a personal opinion, I like fast basketball.
Yeah, I love it too.
I like guys that get up and down.
Yep.
It's fun to watch when these guys do it well.
No, I will tell you, when I was in high school, Fredericktown did not get up and down the floor. It was not that brand of basketball. These finals were what, like 32-30.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different than it was now. You weren't, I kind of wish you were the coach of that to an extent because they get up and down the floor a little bit more. But now it was a different brand of basketball then. But speaking of that, and I asked the guys too, but think about that East Knox game. I kept an eye on it, and Curtis was there already. But it was a close game at half, and then things just erupted in the third. I know there were a lot of different factors to go into it, but what was the message to the guys at halftime? And then obviously you guys erupted there in the third quarter. You scored 91 points in a high school boys basketball game.
I think a lot of it's just maintain the course. And obviously, we did some things early in that game that were kind of uncharacteristic. I think, and that's you're still dealing with 17, 18-year-old kids, and so a lot of times like that 10 minutes at halftime is needed to get guys on the same page, get guys moving in the right direction, and get guys, I think, in a position to be successful and do what we needed to do better than what we did in the first half.
Yeah, well, you guys took care of business there, and Carson, you look back at that game against Mount Gilead. What were some of the things that stood out to you in that ball game, a 65-60 overtime victory?
Like Coach said, our composure late in the game. We were battling from behind like the entire time, and I think at one point we were down by like 9 in the third at the end of the third quarter.
Oh, okay.
And to battle back really just showed our perseverance and really what kind of team we are.
And was it getting more out in transition in the fourth quarter? What was it that got you back into the ball game in the fourth quarter? You tied the game, you won it in overtime.
Yeah, I think it just starts on the defensive end for us. Just our ability to get multiple stops in a row.
Yeah.
And that just, it leads right into the offense.
Is that kind of how it was in the East Knox game, too? You guys were able to get those stops at the beginning of the third quarter, and then you guys have a massive scoring third quarter. You scored 34 points. But was it kind of predicated by the defense to get to your offense moving?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially when you're in transition. That's when defense leads to offense, right? Mm-hmm. Zane, you think back at the Mount Gilead game. What stood out to you? And you guys come back 65-60. You won in overtime there.
What stood out was, being able to come back from, losing by like 9 points and, being able to come and, persevere through, being down for most of the game.
Coach, look at that win. That's a big one. That one's behind you now.
Yeah.
It's done. 65-60. You win in overtime. Now you got a big week ahead of you. Mm-hmm. What do you want to see from this group this week? What are your expectations in playing Northmore? I know Jax Wanger, I think he's averaging 19 points per game, one of the top scorers in the conference, and I don't know a whole lot of the other guys there with Northmore. And then Centerburg's always a battle with you guys. So what do you see with these two teams as you get ready to play them this week?
Well, I think when it comes to Northmore, I think getting off to a better start is kind of key for us. We obviously were sluggish out of the gate against Mount Gilead, so I think getting off to a good start. We've had a couple good days of practice. I think our preparation has been good, and I think again it's just I really want to see this team kind of put some things together. I don't know, and I don't believe that we played a complete game yet. So it's always a process, but each game you want to see little bits of improvement. And I want to see this group play together. I want to see this group play fast. I want to see this group get out of the gate quick against Northmore.
And this is probably going to be two teams, at least from what I've seen with Centerburg. I haven't seen Northmore in person. That looks like two teams that want to run with you, and it could almost be a track meet. It could be a very fast-paced game. Is that something you like, where they kind of play your same style, and it's like, all right, let's go right at it?
It is easier because you don't have to worry about controlling the pace.
Sure.
A lot of times it's like we got to try to find a ways to control the pace. That's at least from what I've seen, I don't think that will be the case. They were tied 17-17 with Danville, and then they had a monster third quarter. So I think from the looks of it, they like to play fast. So it should be a fun up and down game.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Tomorrow night, Curtis will be there live streaming our WMVO Facebook page. Pregame around 7:15. Is that what the plan? Or
should be
around 7:30?
Roughly 7:15.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll be there. And looking forward to that, and looking forward to an 8th consecutive win for the Fredericktown boys basketball team. And then, of course, we'll have Friday's game live streaming only on the WMVO Facebook page at around 5:30 on that one. And then they're going to really try to run super fast on Friday night so that they can get back and watch the Buckeyes too. But it's going to be a big week, obviously, for the Fredericktown Freddies, looking to up that win streak to 9 in a row. But we appreciate Coach for joining us here, and the players for joining us here as well. And always great to have Derek Dibling and Carson Reinhardt and Zane Luckmeyer for spending some time with us here today on the program. Once again, thanks to Griffin Insurance, Coventry Electric Plumbing and Construction, Knox County Veteran Services, Knox Community Hospital, Durko's Pizza and Subs, all for bringing you tonight's show. All right, that'll do it for the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Hopefully you're all safe out there tonight. We'll be back at it next week. Have yourself a wonderful Monday. I'm Tyler Mathias.